Welcome, guys. Today we're going to talk about all about different gimbals or stabilizers of different kinds. If you guys have any questions, first of all, let me know. Let me turn off here. I'm getting some audio feedback. Anyways, yeah. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna try to talk as loud as I can, but I'm in the library in case you can't see. If you can't hear something or whatever, just let me know. Hopefully I can get to all the questions you guys have. But yeah, I want to talk about different gimbals. I have here another gimbal here with me. This is from Film Powers, the Nebula 5100A. It's the latest version, or S, I think it stands for slanted. Anyways, we're gonna open it up. I'll show you guys. And I've been testing out a whole bunch of different gimbals. If you've been following my channel, you know the last video that I just dropped was about the new Fosse Cam Stabilizer. Pretty cool. It's a slanted framing, so you can see clearly in the back. Has like a all follow mode, which none of the other gimbals so far have. So there's a lot of cool options over there on the market. I also did a video before that about comparing the Zhiyun-Tech crane gimbal and then the Feiyu A2000 or Feiyu-Tech and then Mozwa Air. So there are a whole bunch of videos like that about these, and like I said, I'm going to be doing more. Not to mention, I've also been doing, in the past, many other videos. So here I'm just looking at all the audio too low. Yeah, I know. All right, let me see if I can bring for you guys. Properties. For the audio, no, it doesn't let me adjust it. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to speak up, I guess. Hopefully you guys can hear me now better. I don't know. Maybe if anything, I don't know. Try putting up your audio, guys, because I'm putting it up here, and yeah, I've put up all the way like as high as I can, and it does not let me. Actually, you know what? One more setting. I'll check. Hopefully that will fix the problem. But anyways, yeah, you know what? I kind of wanted to talk about and see uh, maybe what questions you guys have about like any gimbals that I've used or any gimbals maybe you're thinking of possibly investing in there into. But so just let me know. But also just let me know if here, let me turn off some settings here. I'm checking up here. But also, yeah, let me know possibly about what else. Man, like too many settings here for this. I'm using OBS to stream today, and it's because I'm on location in New York City and with this gimbal to test out. And anyways, I think you guys are gonna have to just bear with me because I think that's the loudest it's gonna get. Yep, it's getting pretty thick, my beard, Alan. Actually, let me know, guys, also where you guys are joining from. What city, what time is it over there, and can kind of get the show started that way. But yeah, like I said, I'm in New York City testing out yet another gimbal. I've been testing out a whole bunch of gimbals over the years, as you know, but not even just testing out gimbals, because today I don't want to just talk about basically just 3-axis gimbals, but I kind of want to talk about just how to get a good stabilized image. And what I mean by that is just any kind of tools that we have these days, right? So what are some of the ways of that I could recommend stabilizing an image? And there's actually some ways that you can do without spending money on stabilizers. You can, for example, and actually let me know also, I put up a little poll. You can click on it. It's going to be in the top right corner. I believe, what is it, this corner or this corner, I think here. You're going to see it. There's like a little question mark icon. Click on that and you're going to see a little questionnaire there. It says, what is the best way to stabilize your shots? And then you can choose. And the options I have is your steady hands, because there is actually one way of stabilizing shots. Now, I'm not going to say it's as smooth as using a stabilizer like a gimbal or something. but you can actually get pretty good. If there's some really interesting techniques that are, many people have been like sharing on already online. One that I like using is, for example, resting my hands, like kind of both my elbows against my body, and putting my camera like one here underneath the body of the lens, and holding basically the lens and a little bit of the camera. And actually, you know what? I have my camera here with me, so I can show you guys a little bit of what I mean. Where did I put it? Here it is. So basically, you're holding your camera. Like I said, rest your elbows here. Put the camera here on the depending on whether you're left or right-handed, and then just grab the lens here. You can move it, and then your other hand you put on the grip of the camera. And this way, don't rotate the camera like this. Just keep it locked, like all of this. This is your whole body. You keep it locked like this, it's going to be a lot more steady. And this way, when you're, for example, turning, it's almost like acts like a tripod. Turn with your body. Don't turn with your hands like this. And it's, it really becomes a lot more stable. So that's one way of doing it. Another way I like doing it is, I see I have my little belt buckles here for the strap. And I use these simple straps that I have a little clip on. And I'll basically clip it under, put it around my neck, and do the same thing with my elbows. But then I'll stretch out the camera basically so that the belt is kind of tight against my neck. And this way, that gives me another point of contact. Another way of doing it, you can just put it, again, your elbows down, but put your eye to the eyepiece. It works better with some cameras than others because some cameras have better eyepieces. That's where having a better eyepiece, like you can buy those replacement eyepieces that are nice and big, like a big, rubber cushion. That's where they're really helpful. So, so that's one way of doing it. What else is there? Let's see here. Another option I have here is lens and in-body image stabilization. So in-body image stabilization, I would say, is now, like I would say, almost as good as using a 3-axis gimbal these days. Especially if you get like the cameras, like for example, my favorite so far has been the Panasonic GH5. And if you get the right lenses for it, it uses combination of both the lens optical image stabilization plus IBIS, and then it's beautiful. It's like super smooth. So that's definitely one way of doing it. I see some people are saying you can't hear me. I don't know, guys, what to tell you about I don't know whether it's this microphone or what, but it's not allowing me to even go higher. So. I wish I could. Let me see actually here if I can. Let me see if I can do this. This will help. All right. Hopefully now it's a bit louder. I don't know if it is, but that's the problem here with sound. I don't know. Some people are saying sound is great. So yeah, maybe put on your headphones or put the volume definitely all the way up on this video. That's all I can tell you guys, because it's, like I said, I'm on location in New York City right now, kind of in a library, as you can see, and it's the best I can do right now. So anyways, yeah, some people are saying now the audio is fine. Okay. Segway and a mini stabilizer. Yeah, that's another really great way. There's actually a filmmaker that I've kind of did some videos with. His name is Tim Wilson, and he's done some really great videos about actually him using the new Segway Mini. Actually, wait, is it? Oh yeah, I think we have Tim here in the chat. So yeah, so that is actually you guys can ask him questions and just check him out right away. What's his Black Magic Tim? That's his channel. So you guys can click on it. We did a video, and actually we did a video together where he's showing off his Segway, so I'm going to have that on my YouTube channel soon. But you guys can check out his YouTube channel already and his Facebook, and he's got a whole bunch of videos about it, so definitely is going to be helpful. Anyways, you click on the little poll that I have. Another option is the Glidecam type stabilizer. So like the older stabilizers, like the like those little Steadicams, I call them, but even though Steadicam is actually a brand name. But like what I mean is like that uses just good old-fashioned gravity, right? And basic physics. So you have a simple, like a device where the gimbal, where the kind of you have a whole kind of a shaft on the device. You put the camera on top, you put the weight on the bottom, and you're using gravity basically to stabilize it. Now you still have to be very careful how you operate it. You have to get good at operating it. But yeah, but you can definitely get amazing shots. It's just a question more of learning it. Next device is up here on my poll. If you click on it, again, for those of you who are joining us now, I'm running a little poll. You can see basically pick your favorite or your option that you think what is the best way to stabilize your shots. So just go to the top right corner. I don't know which way it is now for me. A top right corner, and yeah, and over there you guys can see it. So anyway, so that's one of the options is actually a 3-axis gimbal device. And on the, yeah, like I said, the 3-axis gimbal is the advantage, I would say, over a traditional kind of a Glidecam type stabilizer is the fact that the Glidecam is going to be, like I said, in many ways I prefer the Glidecam type devices because they really, I can almost say never break down or very rarely break down. I mean, unless you literally physically bent it or something. Because the thing is that they don't have any electronics in it. They're just pure, mechanical devices. So if you just take care of them more or less, and if you get ones that are well built, like the one that's my favorite right now is the from Glidecam, the Dement type, because it takes really small cameras up to even like a Ursa camera. And I did a review actually of that Glidecam with my Ursa, so you guys can see that. And it's like I said, it's a mechanical device. So the good thing is that you don't really have to worry too much about how you basically handle it, or worry about charging batteries or things like that. Or if you're even filming outside, like in the rain, you can take it because you can just put, let's say, a little bit of plastic or something around your camera, and you can roll with it. You can have water splashing, things like that. Try doing that with a 3-axis gimbal. There are some out there that will handle it up to a point, obviously, but because it's an electronic device, you got to be careful, right? Any kind of moisture, rain, dust, that kind of stuff. So that's the disadvantage. Also, you just got to make sure you have everything charged. And another thing that many people don't realize is a 3-axis gimbal is not always just going to work perfectly. When you go to different locations where the magnetic field is really different, or there's things in the environment that might be basically affecting the magnetics in your gimbal, you might have to recalibrate your gimbals. Sometimes that's a hassle and a problem with certain gimbals. They're not as easy to recalibrate. So it's just things like that you have to kind of watch out for, I would say. But the advantage of a 3-axis gimbal is that if, let's say, all those things are working, your batteries are charged, there is no magnetic interference, anything like that, and your gimbal is, can support the weight of the camera that you have under, then the learning curve is very small. You still want to practice with it, you want to get better, but the learning curve is very, a lot short. You can literally jump in and start getting smooth shots, which is not something you can do with a Glidecam type of device. So that's the advantage. And then the last one option here that I have is a chicken head with some tape, because some people suggested to me that I guess chickens always walk around like this, but their head is always level. I guess you could technically tape, if you don't mind hurting a chicken, your camera to the top of its head, but I don't know how reliable that's going to be. So yeah, anyways, that's one option. So yeah, let me answer some questions here that you guys have. Again, if you have any other questions, suggestions, because it doesn't have to be questions, just let me know what you guys think, what kind of devices you would suggest to other people, to other filmmakers. And yeah, I think that's the best way of kind of helping each other, right, by sharing. So here, let's see. Okay, Beholder DS1. That's the one gimbal, a question from CBS Arts. That's the one gimbal I still haven't had a chance to use, so I don't know about it. But I'll definitely be getting my hands on it. I have a whole bunch of other gimbals that's on the way. So once I get them, I'm just going to be testing them out and doing videos about them. So you guys will be able to check it out. It says, okay, I got a classic, so Eduardo's asking me, I got a classic stabilizer, but it jiggles a lot when I move. Can I film without making a bouncing clip? You can, but I would say with all the gimbals, you kind of want to be, you learn to walk differently. You're not just walking like normal, taking normal steps and bouncing up and down your body. You kind of want to have your hips basically moving in one line. So you kind of have your knees bent and you're kind of moving like a ballerina almost. So that's one way I would say is it's going to help you definitely. How do I rate the DJI Ronin M? Amazing gimbal, like super smooth shots I've gotten with it. I've used it for one project, actually a music video that hasn't yet come out, but it's when it does, I'll be able to release like the behind the scenes, and really smooth shots you can get on that. The only thing is, well, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just it's not meant for bigger size cameras. So like I remember I tried it flying on it, the Ursa Mini. There's no way I can do it. I think you could take the weight. It's just the cage itself of that gimbal doesn't take a bit larger size camera. So for smaller cameras like DSLRs, DSLMs, even like Sony FS5 or smaller camcorder type cameras, it's going to work great. Zhiyun crane, I used it. So I did a review. Actually, is another question here from Alex. So Zhiyun, I did a review of it, comparing it to two other gimbals, the Moswa Air and the Feiyutech A2000. Zhiyun crane, I've tested out the version 2. From what I've seen, there's not a big difference between that and the first version of the crane. Great gimbal. To me, it just like, and it was just as smooth as all the other gimbals. It's just the deal that I got wasn't as good of a deal as the other gimbals. Now, I've heard since then that some people found great deals on it on Amazon and on B&H. So just go check them out, I would say, because it just depends on where you find it. At the time I got it, it was over $600, and you did not get like the little tripod with it. You did not get any camera cables. All those things were extra. Somebody told me that they bought a whole Zhiyun crane basically deal with all that, with the case, and even with the dual handles. So if you can get that, and they got it for like under $600, then I think it's an amazing gimbal. So I think right now, like from all the smaller gimbals that I've been testing out, I think they're, the differences are very small. They're all smooth. Even the new gimbals that I tested out, the last video that I dropped, which was a Fosse Cam, was I think a relatively new company, at least when it comes to gimbals. And some people were saying, oh, the video looks a bit shaky in some parts. Well, that's because I was running with it. And when you check all the other gimbals that I've tested, they're all shaky when I was running. When you're walking normally and you're not, kind of like the other question I had from Eduardo, when you're not bouncing around, and when you're running full speed, there's no way you can do that. So you have to kind of bounce around. But when you're walking smoothly and where your hips are kind of moving along one line, then you can get smooth shots with that gimbal or the Feiyutech or Zhiyun or Moswa Air. And I'm guessing the same thing is going to be with this gimbal. We'll see again. Kind of just started testing it, so. But yeah, you can definitely get smooth shots. So yeah, so somebody's asking here, who's buying Sony A6500 and looking for the best gimbal. So yeah, I've used the A6500 actually with the Fosse Cam, but I also used it with all the other gimbals. So check out that last video I did where it's basically the gimbal shootout, or the best gimbal. I forgot the name of it now, but it's like 2 or 3 videos ago. Check it out, and you'll be able to see. So to answer your question, let me see here. Best gimbal for Canon 5D Mark IV. I think for that camera, because it's a slightly bigger, heavier camera, and you're probably going to be using bigger lenses, and also to make it a proper video camera, you might want to use some accessories. I would say you want to go more, not for those pistol-style gimbals, but like something larger, like a DJI Ronin M, or Came TV, for example, has the Argo gimbals, so that kind of style gimbal. Not the full-size Ronin, but not the smallest ones either. Yeah, okay, so there's another question from Andy Art Films, the GH5, wondering if you have done any tests with this camera. Yes, I did a whole review of it, and I've used it actually on various gimbals. And I would say almost with the GH5, when you use the in-body image stabilization plus the optical image stabilization, and you put it on like even the traditional little Glidecam, you're going to get super smooth shots. So that's the beautiful thing about that camera. Kyle Mackey is recommending the Ronin M. He says he has it and he's loving it, so it's good to hear. And like I said, I've had great experience with it. How stable is the Canon EOS C100? I mean, it has some stabilization in it. Like if you're asking me about the built-in image stabilization, it's good, but it's not like anything out of this world either. So definitely you want to use a gimbal or a stabilizer for that thing. Oh, question about, do you have a 3-axis gimbal, something like the Ronin, but that is a way cheaper and it's a do-it-yourself package? And from Janonizer, that's the username. So yeah, Janonizer, no, I don't have right now. I did do a video years ago when the gimbals first started coming out where I kind of did my own build like that. And I'm actually, now that you're asking me about it, it's maybe a good way to go. So I might actually do an updated video of that. Just have to finish a few projects I'm doing right now and I'll look around out there what kind of really cheap pieces I can buy, like off-the-shelf parts, and maybe put together a good gimbal that's basically very affordable. So yeah, thank you for the suggestion. What is the best gimbal between Mozoa Air and Zhiyun? It's kind of like when you watch my video when I compare that and then also the Zhiyun-Tech gimbal. It's hard to say. I don't know if there is one best. It just really comes down to what's the best deal or offer you can get, because they're all stable. Zhiyun-Tech crane and the Mozoa Air, they're both super smooth. The last time I checked, Mozoa Air just was a better deal. You get more things, you get the dual handles, you get the camera cables, you get the tripod stand, you get a nice hard case. Like all these things you're getting included, and for much lower price. It was for like $530. And one time I saw it, so like keep on checking it out. I saw it on B&H for it was a deal for 400, like I think $450. So you know, just keep on checking on it because you'll find deals every so on. But then again, like I said, somebody else once said they found a deal for the Zhiyun-Tech. So it really just comes down to what's the deal that you find. But they're both equally smooth, so that's the thing. Somebody else here is recommending Zhiyun-Tech, I see. Okay, what's the difference between Icon Beholder DS1 and the Rebel Design Beholder DS1? I haven't used those gimbals, so I can't tell you, but once I do use them, I'll definitely do a comparison of it. So. So gimbal that I would recommend for both the A6500 and 5D Mark II. You know what? That's where, like for example, the Glidecam from you know the Glidecam, the model, was it Dement model? That's where it's really great because you can put a tiny camera like the A6500 on it, but you can also put a 5D. You can even put a Ursa on it. You have to learn to use it. It's not as easy using it as a 3-axis gimbal, but that's what I guess recommend. So. Came TV Profit, did I use it? I used it at NAB this year. I still haven't had my hands though, like to actually use it, you know, properly do some tests on it. So I can't really say much. At NAB, I mean, it looked smooth, but it didn't have all the features yet implemented. They just had like sort of demo unit. So I can't say much. I'm waiting to actually get it. So Came TV, if you're watching, let me know when my order is ready, because been waiting for it. So Zhiyun-Tech Crane 2, that's the one I tested out. Amazing gimbal. And again, follow my thing, the gimbal shootout video that I did. You watch that and you'll see. And I'm actually going to be doing an independent review, kind of going more in detail about the Zhiyun-Tech Crane 2. So somebody here from Santa Barbara County, somebody else from Turkey. I see people joining us from all over the world. Litchfield, what is it? Kentucky. Italy, Arezzo, Italy. Oh man, you guys are in the evening there right now, right? Yeah, 7 p.m. I believe. Somebody from India, Mumbai. Hello, India. St. Petersburg, Russia. Damn, you guys are in the middle of the night, I believe. New Jersey. So that's just across the river here from where I am. Right here, man. There's too many questions here going through. Maybe let me try to kind of go quickly. But anyways, is it good? Oh, is the Zhiyun-Tech Crane 2 good for G7? Absolutely, it's amazing for that. Somebody suggesting me again to check out the Icon beholder. Definitely will get my hands on that gimbal. If I haven't ordered it already, I don't even know. I see somebody joining us from Spain, from Brazil, from Germany. Hey, hello. Okay. Yeah, Glidecam all day, somebody's saying, definitely. I think the Glidecam, especially the Dement one, is great. All right, what else here? I do want to show some of the video submissions, so hopefully I can, let me just quickly finish up some of these more questions, and then maybe I'll answer some more questions at the end, what you guys have. What do I choose, Mozoa Air or Zhiyun-Tech A2000? Again, it just comes down to what's the best deal you got, because when you watch the video where I compare those along with the Zhiyun crane, you'll see that they're all equally smooth and they have all great features. It's just what's the best deal you can get, I would say, like what's the best price. Okay. Somebody's saying I wouldn't use an internal and external stabilizer. Internal, basically image stabilization, and external stabilizer at the same time. I would say I've done it. Depends on the camera that you have. Some cameras don't like when you do that. Some do. So it really just depends. Just do tests, really, at the end of the day. Can I get something decent for 150, 200? You can get something, not something decent, unfortunately, right now. Sorry. Somebody suggesting get a bike or a wagon with an assistant. Yeah, that's true. What other suggestions? Somebody from Texas joining us. Jamaica, hello. All right. Anyways, I think I'm going to get into some of the submissions that we have here. Now, before I jump into submissions, let me just kind of show you also, for those of you who have questions about this kind of stuff. Basically, I have here like a page that I'm here. You can see on my website. So you go to Tom Antos Films, go to Gear page, and you have here basically Gear Basics. You can see kind of everything, my advice on different gear, and then here you can select camera stabilizers. Or you can just go directly here, just scroll to camera stabilizers. And in here, you have a whole basically article, and we're constantly updating this article. So as things change, you're going to see basically what gimbals I've tested, what gimbals I recommend for different size cameras, things like that. It will take you, also give you links here, to, for example, like the Dement series Glidecam. It says I reviewed it, click here to see it. So you click on it will take you to that. So like things like that, you know, you're going to see all these details, and it will quickly link and show you relevant information. Also show you where you can get the best deals right now. So definitely, if you guys want like, you know, more up-to-date videos, and it even has a section here about camera gimbal support systems, which I know some people have been asking me about, like when they're working with big gimbals, with big cameras, it's just very tiring carrying all that weight. So here's a few different ones that I've tested out that I can recommend. And again, you know, with links to reviews, videos, all that kind of stuff. So that's one thing definitely that I can recommend. So yeah, so that's, you know, if you guys want more information, as always, go to that. And I also provided the link to that. Is the first link in the description of this video. But now let me here look at the submissions you guys have, and let me also make sure the audio works, because I've been having huge problems here on this laptop. I don't know why, for some reason, but just huge problems with the audio here today. So let's see here, submissions, video submissions. Okay, so first one is from Carlos Diaz. Oh, by the way, before I show the submissions too, a bunch of you have been submitting like some great work, but because I haven't been able to get to your submissions like right when you send it that week. Like I said, sometimes there's 1 or 2 week delay, but just keep your videos on there, even if it's unlisted, because some of you submitted great videos, and then I guess maybe you were like, oh, he's not going to show my video, and you just removed it, or you made it private or something. So make sure you keep those videos on there and leave them so that I can actually show them on the show, because like I said, I will be showing your videos. It just sometimes takes time to get to it. Anyways, from Carlos Diaz, and he was both director, editor, photographer, colorist. Basically, he did everything. And it's a short film entitled Errores, means mistakes in Spanish. And basically, it's kind of like a, assassin gangster kind of thing with. Well, you know what? I'll let you guys watch it, and I don't know if we'll be able to get through the whole film, but at least you guys can see it, and then we can kind of talk about it. So let me just make sure that the audio does work here before. Nope, of course I don't see it working here, so I'm going to switch here, and again, thumbs, or keep your fingers crossed that hopefully it works, because that's just the nature of this stuff right now. I don't know, there's like something's funky going on with this, and because of that it's not okay. And I believe now it's working. So let's switch here. So this is Errores, and let me just play it from the beginning here.
Jaque.
Ok. Vamos a mover este.
Otro jaque.
Vamos a mover ese.
Jaque. Don Abelardo, ya le dije, con este juego se necesita tener mucha paciencia. Concéntrese, analice muy bien sus opciones antes de mover y ya después ataque. ¿Por qué cree que le llaman el juego de los reyes?
¿Acaso te pago para que me hagas sentir como un idiota? Hablando de reyes, yo siempre hago todo con mucha calma. Jaque mate.
Entonces, cálmese. Por favor, tenga cuidado. Estamos en un parque público.
Parque público, si supieras.
Señor Abelardo, ¿está todo bien?
Dime, ¿tengo reuniones a esta hora?
No, señor. Al menos no hasta la noche.
No esperaba visita hoy. Déjame ver qué es lo que quiere este cabrón.
¿Quiere que vaya con usted, señor?
No, niña. No es necesario. Él es uno de mis empleados. Mejor prosigue a limpiar aquí tu jueguito de reyes. De veras. Está bien.
Muy bien, señor.
So maybe I can talk about it now, and basically, there's good things and bad things about this film. Some of the camera work, like just, like even here you see this shot where it's just seeing his like chin cuts off. Some of the framing, I'm personally not a fan of. So those are like the things I would say that, and even just the staging of the scenes, like having that guy just there standing behind in the park, it's not suspenseful. It kind of, in a way, kind of, I would say, borders on kind of being a little cheesy. I think the actors seemed really good. It's just the locations, all that stuff. The opening scene I did like. The opening, like the kind of mood that it sets here, all that stuff. The lighting, I think, is kind of, maybe not exactly how I would have done it, but it's the fact that you're using some color gels here. You're using some, basically, like creating some kind of mood. And then you're getting some of those close-ups and stuff. Like I like this, where you can see the guy's thinking, making a decision, like this close-up I really like. It's just, for me, maybe certain things are not unnecessary. Like there were some jump cuts here, for example, where I don't know if it's really that necessary. Like here, where he just zips up and like looks down. I would have just cut that moment, just cut to him straight walking out. So like little things like that in editing. This location I'm not a fan of, or at least maybe the time of day or something. I know you're kind of going, it seems like, for like that, Men on Fire kind of look, that Tony Scott film. And it has a bit of that look, but it's just a big part of it also is the color grading. That film is very stylized color grading. So I think this definitely, even this scene here in the park, it would have helped a lot if you had this, very stylized color grading like they had. So that's another thing that I would suggest. But there is, I'll tell you what's cool is, like I said, you got good actors. I think the story is interesting, so I would recommend you guys check out the whole film. Again, I'm going to provide the links once the video is done. And so yeah, you guys can check out and watch the whole film. And as advice, I guess, for you, just keep on up. Keep working on it, and definitely don't get discouraged. It's like I said, it's just best way of learning. Carlos is just basically keep on making films, right? So I think it's a good film. It's not all the way there. That's just what I think. But anyways, if you guys are interested, he's kind of let me in, like, a little bit of info here about this film. So it was shot on the Panasonic FZ 2500. For audio, he used the Saramonic SR-PA-X2 along with the NTG2 microphone, and he edited in Cyberlink Director Suite. What is it? It says it's inexpensive software, but it gets the job done. Also, was it using? Oh yeah, and you see, he says, I was going for a bit of that overexposed look, like Men on Fire style, but I can never get it exactly where I was satisfied. So his thing. So yeah, that's kind of my advice: is you don't want to shoot overexposed. Definitely don't want to shoot it. You want to achieve that in color grading afterwards, because then you can be very selective in what you're going to be overexposing. Or even if you overexpose it to create an effect of it being overexposed, you can give it a nice saturated kind of color, so it's not just pure white. So those are the kind of things you want to watch out for. I would say for majority of things, you want to kind of shoot always safe, so not overexposing stuff or underexposing. Anyways, next video here we have is from Silas Fuerst. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. He was the director of photography, editor, and colorist on this. And this was shot this for was a film for awareness for people with dementia. So let's check it out. I believe I've seen this one, or well, let's see. I don't know now. Have I seen it or not? So here again, the audio for some reason is turning on and off. So let me see if I can bring the audio back up. I think it's something here with the software that I'm using. So my apologies if the audio does cut out. But again, I'm going to be providing the links to that later on, so you guys can see. So, very nice film actually. There's not much that I can say that's bad. I mean, it's just like I said, you know, I think very well done. Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking at it right now too, and it's the way it's shot. I think it's, you know, I haven't actually seen this one. I thought I did see it before, but it completely took me by surprise because it starts off kind of looking the first, you know, like I said, maybe the first few shots I thought, oh, I don't know, this is going to be my cup of tea. Not so much that it's badly done, it's just, I just thought, you know, it's not my kind of topic and this and that, but I think because it's so tightly edited, it's just the right length, just under 3 minutes, so it's not, you know what I mean, it doesn't keep you in there, like especially people who aren't maybe interested in that topic, they might not stick around for it, whereas, you know, if you're gonna, you know, 3 minutes is gonna go by really quickly, and if you're interested in just the visuals, then I think that's good. And the story, I liked it. Like, kind of, it really shows you how it's maybe, I guess, hard for the people dealing with family members who have, you know, dementia. So, yeah, really well done. I think that the lighting was on point. It felt very realistic. It didn't feel stylized, which I don't think it is needed to, because I think you kind of want it to look real, yet at the same time, it still looked cinematic. Yeah, very nice shots and everything. I mean, there's really not much I can say. And I like the use of the sound, how the sound kind of goes in and out, you know, and yeah, so very good work. Congrats to the whole team, I guess, to the director, but also you know, to Silas, who submitted this. And I wish you best of luck with the film. So thank you for submitting this to the show. So anyways, let's look now at the next film. This one's from Jarno Lee. Vinsencius, and he was the director of photography, editor, colorist, producer, and basically did everything. The Madame is in black, so that's the title, I'm guessing here. Was shot in 5 days with a crew of only 2, including writer, director, cinematographer, editor, producer, whatever, you know, the whole thing, Jarno. So he submitted the film to us. It was shot with the Sony A7S and Atomos Ninja Flame, using 5 LED lights from Aperture. Go Aperture! I love their lights. All right, budget was it $4,000 US, and we've already won 30 international film awards, including Best Horror, Best Cinematography, Best thing. So, oh, it's very exciting, and I see it's already, you have it up on IMDb. And he's just asking for my opinion about cinematography. So here, let's see. Is it? No, actually, I don't know if I can play this. I believe. Let me see. If I can play it, then you guys can see it. But that's the problem when you guys will always ask you to send. Best way to send is YouTube links. But if you can't send YouTube links, then I guess, you know, send some, you know, the Vimeo. But otherwise, it's very difficult sometimes for us to get it actually here, just the way it's being done. The streaming is being arranged. But anyways, I'm going to try it. Hopefully it works. And again, I got to do something with this audio. Man, damn you audio. Why don't you just work? Got to like turn it on and off to get it working again. Some kind of conflict here with my laptop, I think. I never had that problem before. Anyways, yeah, now you can definitely hear the music. So here, I'm going to switch it over and let you guys see.
Vad gör du?
Ingenting.
Vill hänga med ner till källaren och leka svart med dem?
Mamma har sagt att vi inte får leka i källaren.
Mamma är inte här, eller hur? Hon kommer inte för några timmar. Jag säger ingenting. Om inte du gör det.
Jag är upptagen.
Visst. Vänta nu här.
Säg inte att du är rädd.
Rädd? För vadå?
För Svarta Madame?
Det är bara en löjlig historia.
Ja. Du är rädd.
Nej, det är jag inte.
Ja, men kom ner och så leker vi.
Jag känner inte för det.
Alex är rädd, Alex är rädd, Alex är rädd.
Okej då, jag kommer. Men jag tror inte på det där.
Försiktig. Jag har hört att det spökar här inne.
Sluta. Du är så töntig.
Okej, kom ihåg nu att vi ska säga Svarta Madame 3 gånger.
Ja, jag är inte för det går.
Är du beredd?
Absolut.
På min räkning. 1, 2. Svarta Madame, Svarta Madame, Svarta Madame, kom fram.
Jag viska hon leva, jag viska hon leva, jag viska hon leva ut i 100 år. Ett fyrfaldigt leve för min underbara hustru. Hon lever, hurra! I veckor har jag grubblat över vad jag ska ge min kära syster på hennes födelsedag. Hon som redan har allt. Perfekt jobb, perfekt hus. Nästan perfekt man. Så förra veckan, out of the blue, landade presenten praktiskt taget i famnen på mig. Eller hur så?
Det var lite lustigt.
Mina damer och herrar. Låt mig presentera. Här är trummor.
Du, är det här vad jag tror det är?
Ja.
Alltså hur... Det är farmors spegel. Alltså farmors spegel, men hur fan har du fått tag i den?
Kommer du ihåg roadtrippen jag berättade om förra veckan? Vi körde förbi vår lilla by. Jag lovade Sara jag skulle visa huset vi växte upp i. När vi stod utanför, ja då plötsligt dök gubben Källqvist upp från ingenstans.
Gubben Källqvist, den gamla snuskurvan. Ja. Han måste ju vara typ 100 år. Och han kände igen dig.
Ja, det verkade så. För han visste vad jag hette. Han berättade att de nya ägarna hade rensat både vinden och källaren. Farmors spegel. Den hittade han i soptunnan.
Och han gav den till dig?
Japp.
Du, tack. Jo, så här. Alltså, när alla och jag var små så brukade vi leka massa i källaren hemma hos våran farmor och farfar. Och så brukade vi köra Svarta Madame.
Men när du leker med svarta häxan som man tillkallar 3 gånger så uppenbarar hon sig.
Ja, precis. Och en gång så såg han liksom.
Ja, det gjorde jag. Men det var ingen som trodde på mig såklart.
Nej, men och sen så efter det så fick Alex så mycket mardrömmar så att vi fick typ inte vara i källaren längre.
Vad var det du såg för det?
Det där var 100 år sedan jag kommer faktiskt inte ihåg. Och om jag nu såg någonting så... Det var säkert bara min livliga fantasi.
Men vi lekte också den leken i skolan. Och de mest för att impa på brudarna. Och boy, det funkade.
Jag och min kusin, vi lekte också det i gymnasiet och jag tyckte det var ganska läskigt. Och hon berättade om 2 kompisar till henne i parallellklassen som också hade gjort det. Och de klättrade upp på taket och hoppade ner och den ena dog faktiskt. Och den andra blev invalid. Och ja, det fanns ingen förklaring till varför de hade hoppat.
Men jag har hört någonting om den historien också.
So I'm gonna quit it there, leave you guys in suspense. I'm actually gonna watch the rest of this film. I haven't seen this. I thought this was one of the submissions I watched, but it is a longer submission. We're like watched already 6.5 minutes, and it's basically almost 24 minutes long. So it looks amazing though. So thank you for submitting this, and I'm glad the link actually worked out, Jarno. So congrats to you. I mean, the fact that you took on so many hats in this production and you did it with such a small budget. It looks beautiful. The film looks beautiful. I'm not surprised that you guys have won so many awards already. It really kept me in suspense. I definitely one creepy, one hell of a grandma's mirror there. So it's already a great setup for kind of even just sitting here. Honestly, like I'm all by myself in this library, and it just it's not so bright in here. And to be honest, sitting here, even though it's in the middle of the day, it kind of gave me some creeps. So. Some chills down my spine. So great job. Cinematography was great. I really loved the little subtle camera moves that you did. There are things that maybe most people won't notice it, but they'll create a certain emotion. So like little things like when the camera moves in or when the camera moves down or sideways or things like that, but just creates the right kind of emotion. So I love that. And also I loved your use of volumetric lighting. So like you introducing the atmosphere, the fog and all that stuff. So that's really cool. And I'm kind of curious to see, the rest of the film. And then, like I said, so if the first 6 minutes looks as good as this, I'm expecting the rest to look just as good and maybe even better. So, anyways, I'm going to provide the link to your film and all the other films that I've showed in the description of the videos once the stream is done. And for those of you who still haven't gotten to your submissions, like I said, keep those submissions, your videos there. Don't remove them. I will get to them. It's just like you can see, sometimes it's just we run out of time. But anyways, it's going to be already 1 o'clock. So that's it. Thank you guys for joining us today, and or joining me at least. My brother wasn't able to come. But anyways, yeah, join us next week for another Filmmaking Times. As always, on Sunday at noon Eastern Time. Here on our YouTube channel or on our Facebook page, or you can always go to tomantosfilms.com/live and you'll find us there. So anyways, thank you guys, and I'll see you next week. Bye.